Hey Ben, good morning.
Morning, Ravi.
How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Ben, first of all, you've been a great organizer here at the PowerShell conference. So how's your experience here?
It's been fantastic. I mean, we're just about to start day 2, but day 1 was amazing. A lot of fantastic attendees, great content from the speakers. Everyone's really got a very open and community-minded attitude, which is exactly what we're hoping for. And yeah, couldn't be happier.
Cool. So what do you do on a daily basis?
So on a daily basis, I'm the Director for Technical Services Asia Pacific for Chem Technologies. So I'm responsible for the Asia Pacific region. The team's responsible for pre-sales, post-sales support, training, everything to help our customers and our partners deliver their applications better.
Sure. How did you get started with PowerShell?
Actually, I got started really through the community. I relocated to Singapore a few years ago, and really at that time I was using a lot of Python and got introduced to Matt, another organizer here at the conference. He was struggling to run the community on his own. I thought he was a great guy. Had a look at PowerShell. I really liked the structure of the language, and it seemed really readable and similar in a lot of things I liked about Python. So I just sort of started really with the community and helping out, and met a great bunch of people, and yeah, really fell in love with PowerShell at the same time.
Cool. PowerShell has quite a few features, this DSE, native workflows, and so on. What's that one feature that's most useful for you in your daily work, or what do you do?
Look, I think it might sound a little bit flippant, but really the whole get help and help infrastructure. It doesn't matter how much everything else advances, you use it constantly. And actually, the more the language advances, the more the modules advance, the more things like DSC advance, the more critical it becomes, because you just can't take it all in. You can't remember it all. And the way Jeffrey and the team designed an entire infrastructure of integrated help around the language is, I think, one of the real defining factors of PowerShell versus other scripting and programming languages.
Okay, so if there is one feature that you don't like or feature that you think needs improvement, what is it?
We talked a little bit about it at the conference already today, but I think I really, really like the way that PowerShell and DSC and the PowerShell team and Microsoft are moving towards community efforts, and we see this with the DSC resources. A lot of these are open source. .NET is open source now, and there's a lot more collaboration happening outside of the official teams. One of the things I think that's being a problem with people adopting this and moving this way is that there's so many years of enterprise organizations specifically choosing closed source corporate solutions because they believe there's some assurance and quality and support behind that. So really bringing something into those community efforts, whether it's through digital signing or some kind of stamp or statement from Microsoft and the PowerShell team that say, look, if you come with us in this direction, this is where we need to go, but we're going to back you, you're going to be supported, and you're not going to get stuck. I think that would really help. So it's not so much a feature as just helping people transition as quickly as possible into understanding that. And people that have already been using open source aren't going to have a problem, but especially in the Microsoft world, a lot of those organizations specifically chose Microsoft technologies for that stamp of approval, for that support, and for that assurance. So I think that's something we need to work on together.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion there. So coming back to the PowerShell conference, this has been very successful, right? The first one in Asia and has been very successful. So what are your plans for the future?
Already, I think we're talking about PowerShell Conference 2016. There's been a lot of great feedback and support. Definitely some things that, as an organization group, we need to improve, try and make it smoother, make it easier for people to get here. But I think we'd really like to see some new faces, some more participation. But I think even if we could just do what we've done here in Singapore, if we could repeat that, it'd be great. So I think there was a lot of discussions with Ferdinand and some of the guys about Bangkok next year. Seems to be a lot of votes for for Bangkok, so that might be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Start planning.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ravi.